Well, good morning and welcome to the Road to Reinvention 2017. It's really a pleasure for me to just kind of be here to say thanks for joining us. Thanks for making it a part of your day today, part of your year. And I'm pretty excited about today's agenda. The only downside is I got double booked. We have a trustee meeting as well today. So if you don't see me later, I'll kind of be coming in and out. It's not because I'm hiding from you. It's because I'm going over there and coming back here. And even though we have a record attendance, a huge number of people here, I think we probably lost a few people that direction as well. So if you're missing some familiar faces, that's probably where they're at. And I'll tell them that they shouldn't have double booked us on that in that regard. But it's really great. The program is great. You've seen it already, and we're excited to get started. You know, as dean of a top 50 business school, I spend a lot of time talking to executives actually all over the country. In fact, all over the world. I just came back from a trip abroad and had opportunity to talk to some folks over there. And, you know, inevitably the conversation turns to digital transformation. It really is it's on the top of everybody's mind. Now, that's because most of us in leadership positions are digital immigrants. And we're serving, in many instances, those digital natives that are the age of our children and our children's children. And so it's a challenge that all of us face. And, you know, executives everywhere are just coming to grips with this reality, and it changes on a day-to-day basis. And the Paul Mirage School of Business was actually one of the first schools to embrace this sort of digital transformation idea many years ago, and I think we were the first school to have a laptop requirement. Is that right, Vijay? And you know, which now that just seems kind of silly, right? And actually trying to undo the laptop help desk is something weird, right? But now it's like, wait a minute, we don't need a specific laptop help desk, but it used to be because the laptops probably needed help carrying them around, right? But you know, that's the kind of stuff that we were doing back in the 90s when it was still really fresh. Well, everything's really fresh today, but our laptops are actually in our pockets, and in some instances they're embedded in different areas around our home. And I mean, you're going to talk a lot about that today, so I don't want to go into it too much. But it's important, I think, that we convene periodically to just have these kinds of discussions, to reflect, to hear something new, to talk to each other. I'm sure you'll learn as much from each other at the breaks as you do in many other instances, and to hear what people are doing at major firms that are facing these kinds of things on a day-to-day basis. We've got people, and I apologize if I don't mention your firm that's represented here today, but we have Lyft, Experian, Target, Ticketmaster, Warner Brothers, Hyundai, Capital Group, Edmunds.com, IBM, a lot more. You see, I had to read it because I couldn't memorize the list, but I just, you know, those are marquee companies that big things are happening, and they're happening on a daily basis, as I indicated earlier. We're really glad to have them, and I want to personally thank them for helping make today a particularly compelling program. The Mirage School launched the Center for Digital Transformation in 2012 with our founding director, Dr. Vijay Gurbuxani. And he is also the Taco Bell Professor of Business, and he continues to direct the Center for Digital Transformation. We saw the importance of getting out in front of this before many of our competitors. And with that, we actually also saw the importance of contemporizing our curriculum, hybridizing our curriculum, offering online curriculum. You know, those kinds of things are things that we're dealing with on a daily basis ourselves. And so our MBA programs and our undergraduate programs really are more reflective of the market's needs. And we continue to push that envelope, just like you're pushing that envelope in your businesses. And the one last thing I want to do before I leave the stage is just to make sure I don't ever want to not thank the people that helped to make it possible. And we have a lot of sponsors today. And Ed already has thanked those people by name, or those companies by name specifically, and I'm sure you'll hear in other instances and see in other materials. But if you see somebody from one of those companies, go ahead and say, hey, thanks for helping make this possible. Because, you know, it's those people, members of our board of advisors, members of our advisory boards for our centers. It's the firms the firms and individuals that support the Mirage School really are what help to make us successful. And you probably noticed just last week we jumped a bit more in the rankings. A lot of times those things aren't statistically significant, but the trend is definitely in the right direction. And we remain in the top 5% of all accredited business schools in the world, and we actually are in a much smaller, more select group when you compare us to all the business schools in the world, many of which are not accredited. So we're really glad to have you here. I want to invite you just now to enjoy the day and welcome Dr. Girbaksani to the stage. So thanks and have a good day.